It's been 17 years since we moved to Australia, and still I often find myself completely lost. I arrived with my wife and 6-month-old son in the middle of winter. We knew very little English. It wasn't what we expected. Every day things were hard. Buying groceries, going to the bank, navigating a train timetable. But we were young and excited, and determined to make a good life here. Gradually, it got easier. We made friends in our community. I found a job. My wife loved our new house. Our future seemed so bright. At that time, even though we were faced with all the challenges of being in a new country, we were happy. We had an image of how our lives would be. And for a few short years, we knew where we were going. When our son was 4, he still wasn't talking and he didn't play with other children. I would call my mother back home. She'd say that boys develop slower than girls and that he would be fine. And I believed her. But my wife would insist that something was wrong with him. I knew he wouldn't listen and was a little naughty, but I just thought boys would be boys. One day I came home from work. I've never seen my wife so upset. She said she didn't know what to do with him. He doesn't look at her, doesn't smile at her, she said. She couldn't get through to him. It's not his fault. You need to teach him how to behave. I work all day, I pay the bills, and I do my job as a father. Why can't you do yours? How could I have been so harsh that day? It was time for our son to go to school, and I thought that this would fix things. Not long after he started, the teacher said he had problems with social interaction and communication. I remember thinking to myself, well, so do I. I'm a new Australian who can't speak English very well. But then she mentioned autism, and my heart stopped. I didn't know what it was, but it sounded serious. The teacher suggested I take my son to a doctor. She said it's best to get a diagnosis as early as possible. Then we would be able to understand why our son is behaving the way he is, and make a plan on how to help him. The doctor told us that autism is a developmental disorder. It affects the way our son relates to other people and his environment. I couldn't believe it when he said that in Australia, over 200,000 people have autism. That's about 1 in every 100 people. The doctor said our son would have autism his entire life. Suddenly, we were lost again. I didn't know where to go or what to do. I was scared. I desperately wanted to help my son, but I didn't know how. That beautiful image of my family's future had vanished. Shopping was a nightmare. My son didn't cope well, and to be honest, we didn't either. He seemed overwhelmed by everything around him. He couldn't handle it, all the noise and people. It was too much for him. We didn't realize back then that the bright lights were hurting his eyes. And it was hard, because there were so few things that he would eat. All he wanted was plain toast or apples, day after day. We thought he might get sick. We dreaded the checkout. No one could touch his hair. We couldn't brush it or wash it, and we definitely couldn't cut it. I remember the first time we went to the barber. That day, I promised never to take him again. My wife would gently brush his hair when he was asleep. Each child with autism is different. Each parent goes on their own journey. It's all about learning and understanding your own child. In time, blame and confusion went away as we began to learn how to help him. We didn't need to do it alone. So many people helped us along the way. Doctors, speech therapists, teachers, family and friends have all helped us to help our son. It was a long journey, but I knew we were on the right track. My wife and I were working together again. At dinner, we would practice words over and over again, and slowly he began to say a few words back. Every word, every smile, every time he tried a new food was a celebration. In the beginning, we didn't have much family support. Even when my parents came to live with us in Australia, it was difficult. They believed we were cursed. They feared their grandson would not grow up to fulfill his responsibilities as a man. And I think for a while this caused my parents a lot of disappointment. It would have been easier for them to accept a physical disability that they could see. In time, my parents had a better understanding of what autism is. Then they were able to be more supportive and involved. My mother calls our son her little blessing. One of his teachers was amazing. She understood that his main interest was soccer and used this interest to engage him in everything. Maths, science, reading, whatever the subject, she could use soccer to explain anything. By the age of 12, he could tell you the name and average of every player in the World Cup. Children with autism appear to be in their own world. Even though he didn't seem to mind, the thought of my son being forever alone haunted me.
Yes!
Only having his family to cheer him on in the backyard, never making any friends, it broke my heart. I decided to talk to the school about joining their soccer team. I explained that he would find it difficult. He did try to play with other kids, but didn't seem to understand how to begin or what to say or do. But I really felt that this was the best way to develop the social skills he needed. The coach agreed to try and include him. It took a lot of patience from everyone. But it was worth it. There were times when Hoyp left us. But I found it again with acceptance and learning. Our son has been away on a soccer camp for the weekend. The longest we've ever been apart in 17 years. I am so proud of him. We have come a long way as a family. We can never know the path in front of us, but I know it depends on what I do today. Today, I am not lost. I'm not worried about the past or the future. Today, I am with my son.